Hi, my name's Dan McLellan, and first off, I want to thank Thomas. Thomas and I, we've had some disagreements over all of this over the last year, but we maintained our friendship because we both knew that we were working towards the common cause to keep the Chargers in San Diego. I spent 3 years as the Chargers beat writer for CBS Sports, and I have been particularly outspoken against the mayor's efforts here in San Diego. For over a year, I have publicly shared an unpopular belief that everything Mayor Faulconer has done on the stadium issue has been nothing more than theater designed to protect the interest of those that prefer a contiguous expansion of the convention center over a non-contiguous, and to provide political cover for the mayor if the Chargers were to move to LA. I was told repeatedly that a solution could be found if only the Chargers would come to the table. From the Chargers announcing their decision to focus on downtown, to publishing the language of the Citizens Initiative, to the official launch of that initiative last Saturday, the Chargers have received persistent political blowback for their efforts. Tony Manolatos, a former spokesman for the Citizen Stadium Advisory Group, and April Boling have been particularly outspoken. Steve Cushman continues behind the scenes to apply political pressure. If you're going to line up the people in San Diego who have done the most to block a new stadium over the years, there is no doubt Steve Cushman would be near the head of that line, Mark Fabiani has said. Let's take a look at the interconnectivity of the relationships that go back years between Faulconer and those that have been most outspoken against the Chargers' plan to build a multi-use stadium that includes a non-contiguous expansion of the convention center. By analyzing the actions of these individuals and their relationships to one another, it is clear that Faulconer's stadium effort has been politically motivated and less than sincere. Steve Cushman and Faulconer have worked together to expand the convention center since at least 2009. At that time, Cushman chaired the Mayor's Citizens Task Force to expand the convention center, and Councilman Faulconer was included in the communications of the task force. Cushman and April Boling have collaborated on convention center issues involving hoteliers since at least 2004. Both played a critical roles to bring the Hilton Hotel to the Bayfront. Cushman then served as the commissioner of the Port Commission, which granted a coastal development permit for the project. April Boling served as vice chairman of the Convention Center Court Board, and she told commissioners that a hotel will play a pivotal role in the success of the convention center. Boling served as the treasurer for the Faulconer City Council campaign in 2008. Cushman, as outgoing board chairman in 2010, presented an award to Wayne Darby for efforts to foster a constructive port culture. Darby was fired as the CEO of the port in 2014 after a scandal broke that he used his power over people and influence to help get a job for his son. Tony Manolatos was heavily involved in the issue as a consultant for the port. In 2013, Boling returned to the Faulconer campaign trail as the treasurer for not only the Faulconer campaign for mayor, but also the treasurer for both super PACs that supported his campaign. This sounds legally dubious, as Fabiani might say. We are supposed to believe that there is no coordination between the campaign and the super PACs to allow a substantial amount of money to flow into his campaign. In October of 2013, the Coastal Commission ignored its own staff recommendations and approved a contiguous expansion of the convention center. It did so under a false premise that contiguous is the only way for expansion. This allowed the Convention Corp and the Coastal Commission to go back on previously made promises to the public. The ruling appeared to kill the possibility of a non-contiguous expansion and the Chargers' preference for a multi-use downtown stadium. The result is no surprise given the influence of the powerful group supporting the project, Fabiani said in reaction to the approval. Now, attention will turn to an appeals court ruling on the legally dubious tax that was invented to pay for all of this. Cushman thought he had won his contiguous expansion and then appeared on KPBS suggesting that the Chargers used the site at Tailgate Park for a stadium that was supposed to be used for a non-contiguous expansion of the convention center. At this point, Cushman thought the possibility of including a stadium with a convention center expansion was off the table. Cushman touted the benefits of a downtown stadium. The advantages of downtown is there is already lots of infrastructure, the trolley is there is lots of parking. Contrast these statements by Cushman to all the public reasons given by the mayor and CSAG to not choose downtown for a stadium. In March of 2014, Cushman and Manolatos served together on Faulconer's transition team to mayor, in which Cushman was the co-chair. Faulconer initially ignores the stadium issue when he takes office. In August of 2014, Corey Briggs won a lawsuit throwing out the legally dubious tax that Fabiani had warned about. This halted the contiguous expansion of the convention center. With no clear path for convention center expansion available for the city, the Chargers privately engaged Faulconer and tried to revive the multi-purpose concept downtown. Instead of hashing out a deal that would have secured both the Chargers and Comic-Con to San Diego, it was Faulconer that walked away from the table and announced the creation of CSAG in his State of the City address. It was clear from the beginning of the formation of CSAG, CSAG was just a political posturing, and the Chargers organization did not support this. Fabiani quickly voiced concerns that Cushman would be part of CSAG because Cushman had repeatedly been a roadblock to their downtown efforts. Cushman was ultimately not appointed to CSAG, but Faulconer did appoint Cushman to the San Diego Convention Center Corporation Board of Directors. This appointment allowed the two to continue their work together to achieve their goal of a contiguous expansion of the convention center, work that had been ongoing while CSAG supposedly deliberated between downtown and Mission Valley for a stadium. Days before CSAG announced Mission Valley, when faced with the question of what were the real obstacles to downtown, a CSAG representative explained to citizen groups that it was the hoteliers. When you have that knowledge and the fact that Faulconer and Cushman were continuing to work together for a contiguous expansion, the only intellectual conclusion you can reach is that CSAG's choice between downtown and Mission Valley was nothing more than a political illusion. At the Downtown San Diego Partnership Dinner in 2015, Faulconer joked about the Chargers not wanting Cushman on CSAG. Faulconer said that he was creating a new stadium task force and that he would have everyone in the room, except for you, Cushman. Faulconer also promised to get the expansion of the San Diego Convention Center back on track. We're just going to build it wherever Corey Briggs promises not to sue us, Faulconer said. Well, Mr. Faulconer, we know the answer to that. It is the non-contiguous expansion at Tailgate Park in conjunction with a new multi-use stadium. It is time that you stop providing political cover for yourself and take real action that will secure the Chargers and Comic-Con to San Diego. This will be accomplished by endorsing both the Citizens Plan and the Chargers Plan. With leadership like that, we can solve these problems. Endorse now, Mr. Faulconer. Thank you.